This is Radio Romania International. You are listening to our one-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Africa. We can also be heard on the internet at www.ri.ro, Channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn, Radio Romania International 1, and in Europe via satellite Eutelsat 16A on 11,512 MHz, vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. We wish you good reception conditions.
Hello, I'm Cristina Madescu with the news. First, the headlines. The Romanian authorities have announced checks at children's homes, retirement homes and homes for people with disabilities in the wake of revelations of abuses at 3 retirement homes near Bucharest. Health insurance house employees are protesting against low salaries and big personnel cuts around the country. And Parliament is holding an extraordinary session to declare vacant the position of Director of the Romanian Intelligence Service after Eduard Helvig stepped down. The Romanian authorities have announced checks at children's homes, retirement homes and homes for people with disabilities around the country. Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu said all their permits would again be analysed. He also called for those guilty of abuse to be punished and underlined that the social care system needs to be changed and that it is unacceptable to have control bodies pass the blame from one to another. His statement comes after the organised crime body began an investigation at 3 social care centres in Voluntari and Afumați near Bucharest for the inhumane treatment to which residents were subjected by the staff. The employees of health insurance houses around Romania today stopped working for 2 hours in protest against their low salaries compared to their responsibilities and amount of work, and against the drastic cuts in personnel nationwide. One of their trade union leaders said employees are no longer motivated to work, are flooded with assignments, and salaries haven't gone up since 2017. The national healthcare system ensures treatment for 2 million seriously ill people, and the budget managed by the National Health Insurance House is almost 11 million euros, the largest in the public system in Romania. Despite this, 1,200 jobs have been cut in this sector in the last 2 years. Parliament is today holding an extraordinary session to declare vacant the position of Director of the Romanian Intelligence Service, following the departure of Eduard Helvig last week. The latter ran the service for 8 years, saying he has achieved his goals. The service's first Deputy Director, General Răzvan Ionescu, currently serves as interim. On the 27th of January 2015, Helvig had replaced George Maior, who had also resigned. The Director of the Romanian Intelligence Service is appointed by the President of the country, following approval by the control committees of the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies, and also has to secure Parliament's vote. Average monthly incomes per household in the first quarter of the year amounted to around 1,400 euros in Romania, up more than 5% compared with the last quarter of 2022, according to a survey published today by the National Institute for Statistics. Average spending per household stood at around 1,200 euros, 2.5% less than in the fourth quarter, and accounting for more than 85% of total incomes. The biggest expenses were incurred with consumption, taxes and duties and other fees. Food and non-alcoholic drinks had a big share of consumption expenses, followed by housing expenses, water, electricity, gas and other fuels. The Pitești prison will be included on the list of historical buildings in Romania. Culture Minister Raluca Turcan said she would soon sign a decree to this end, and that she also supported the idea for this former communist prison to apply for UNESCO status. The Pitești prison was active between 1941 and 1977 and is known for hosting between 1949 and 1951 the Pitești experiment, which is considered the most extensive torture-based brainwashing program in the ex-communist bloc. The program was discontinued in September 1951, and the building was used as a detention center for political and common law prisoners until 1977, when it was closed. A remembrance museum opened here in 2014, hosting exhibitions, events and educational activities on the subject of political anti-communist imprisonment. The director of the Intelligence and Security Service in the Republic of Moldova, Alexandru Mustața, today announced the dismantling of a Russian spying network that acted against Moldovan interests. According to Radio Chișinău, Moldova's intelligence service, together with prosecutors specialized in combating organized crime and special cases, have opened an investigation into treason and espionage against 2 agents of Russia's security service, FSB. The 2 were believed to have been involved in organizing hostile activities in respect of Moldova's security, recruiting Moldovan citizens to build a spying network. The goal was to influence social and political processes in favor of Russia, maintaining Moldova's dependence on Moscow and trying to manipulate Moldovan public opinion. And that's the end of the news.